person who's only in hell. You have to excel. You cannot. You have to give.
Inhale. So, all right. Well,
give.
let's make it really like a practical example.
Yeah,
let's
please.
say I have no money.
Okay.
I'm broke. I find myself in a really terrible state.
Yeah.
Now, you say you have to give money in that state to open up money coming towards you. How does that work? Or explain to us how that works.
First, I didn't say you have to give money. You gotta give. Whatever
I'm
you give.
using that as an example.
Yeah.
Money as an example. Yeah.
Whatever you give a compliment. That's good. Compliment is wonderful. Money is a state of mind. Money is an expression of manifestation of where you are in life. So some people don't have money because they don't feel they deserve it. Mm-hmm. Some people don't have money because they don't know how to appreciate it when it comes. It's both ways. Some people are too cheap, so even if they have money, they don't enjoy it. So what they have money for?
You don't really need it then, do you? It's a waste.
A 71 years old guy who has all the money in the world and he suffers. Stupid, right? The other person have all the money in the world and is spending on nothing and just go broke after that. So when you don't have money, you can give a smile, can you give a compliment. I tell you a story. True story happened 2.5 months ago. I was in Miami. And this story affected me a lot. And I went to meet my friend. He showed me Miami, he showed me around. And he said to me, Eliyahu, you love to meet all type of people. I'm going to introduce you to a guy. So, well, I'm impressed. So we're waiting for his car, to come from the valet. And the car arrived. And he said to me, Eliyahu, I want to introduce you to the guy who's in charge of the valet. Not normally like meeting that I would have. I said, okay, if he say it, I believe him. So we start talking to him for half an hour. Amazing guy. Amazing guy. And the guy he was basically in charge of 3 buildings, he's a manager, he's everything. And his daughter got sick. Daughter got so sick that he had to quit his job. He used all his money for her to be healthy. And he gave all his life for that. And of course lost his job. And after she overcome the disease, the cancer, he came back and asked for a job. Said, we can't give you that job, somebody else took it. But we can give you to become working in the valet if you want. So no problem. When you talk to this guy, I say, how are you doing today? I say, as happy as a human being can be. And more happy will be later. Why? Because I'm going to see my daughter and my wife. So he's never stopped. He's never stopped to be happy. So you look at a guy like this, doesn't have money. He just broke because of what happened to his daughter. But he's as happy as a human being can be. So how can you not be happy, he asked me. So why is people working on being happy? Let's work on why you cannot be happy. Just tell me, challenge me, tell me, why can't you be happy? So it's we meet beautiful people around us.
All the time.
There's beautiful people that give a smile. And instead of me giving him the tip, which is what, $5, but he's giving me a smile that's worth $1 million. So he's giving me more than I'm giving him. So that's by itself, that's giving. Giving is not just cash or check, because giving is everything.
One of the things that you've taught me is that one of the most normal actions is to learn how to receive and to give. But a lot of us don't know how to do either. So we have to learn how to share and how to give, and we have to learn how to receive. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about the problems that some people seem to have, which is that they don't know how to receive love. They don't know how to accept love. They don't know how to let that energy and that frequency into their life.
That's a great question. First, why people born with that? I know that I grew up like that. I grew up with a family that my father lost his father when he was born, and his mother died when he was 4. And he was taken from Tripoli, from Libya, into Sicily, to an orphan. He was an orphan, of course, and he grew up in Sicily.
Now it's the interesting story that I told you before. Now we're going to hear it.
He grew up in Sicily, so he couldn't express love. He couldn't say love you stuff or hug. And my mother, in the age of 5, from Libya moved into Israel. She was very wealthy. Her family was very wealthy, but they moved into Israel. It was no money, it was nothing there. So they have to live in a tent, basically. So both of them grew up rough. So all what they knew, if we know about the chakra of survival, they only knew to survive. So they only knew to supply food and do the best they can. they couldn't think about saying I love you, because what does that even mean, to say I love you?
I think that's a really important thing, because for a lot of people out there that grow up with parents that are fighting every day to make ends meet, to put food on the table, to provide a home, to provide clothes for their children, a lot of time the fight for survival is so strong that they just don't have a chance to kind of pay attention to all the other things that are going on, like sending love to their children. And we sometimes tend to forget that and blame our parents and think that they're really bad people. No, they're not bad people. They just didn't have a chance to focus on anything else but the survival mechanism. And if we have compassion for them and allow them to just be who they are, then what happens?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say, for many years I was angry with my parents. Even when I started my spiritual journey, I was still angry with them. Why they couldn't express the word I love you? They never used that. I mean, until today, my mother's still alive. If I said to my mother, I love you, she said, we love you too. There's nobody else in the room, just me and her.
She still can't say I love you.
Don't say I love
to
you.
this day.
To this day.
What about to your children?
I think she does.
She does to your children, but she can't do to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's from a psychological point of view, it's
Of
an
course.
intimacy issue.
Of course.
So what I'm trying to say, the whole idea of love, from that we express love toward people. Of course, the words are important, but we have to also forgive the people who don't give us love, because it's not because they're bad. They don't have the vocabulary how to do it. Going back to your question, receiving love. I grew up with receiving love was strange to me. I didn't understand that language. So if somebody start to speak nice to me, I would be suspicious something is wrong, because instead of that sound sweet, it sound weird. For most people, if somebody say I love you, I mean, okay, now we know we are committing. So the words would not have a lot of meaning for me. The action was have meaning for me because I grew up like that. The reason people don't receive love, because there is a layer from childhood or from another lifetime that they need to correct. And once you receive love, you expose yourself. You are losing the guard. You are losing control. And you allow now to receive. Not easy to receive. You remove the ego, you remove everything, and let this flow of love come in. I remember the first time, my wife is American, I'm Israeli. When my wife and me start to go out, so she used the word, I miss you. I didn't get the I miss you thing. I said, how can you miss me?
Instead of I love you?
No. She said I love you, but the I miss you part, that's kind of funny, I think.
Yeah.
I miss you. I said, why you miss me? I'm here. How can you miss me? I didn't fully understand it, but I thought something wrong with her. When she started to use the word I love you, I say, hey, let's slow down here. This is happening in 10 years. But the idea that people don't receive love. But for example, women who don't receive love can hurt their breast. It's very dangerous, because the breast is the force of giving. If a woman giving too much and doesn't know how to receive, it can hurt their physical breast, because the breast is the chakra of what we call in Kabbalah is Tiferet, or the green, or the heart chakra. This is the area of enjoy. You should enjoy love. Of course, receive love, no problem. The love that comes from everyone come to heal you, come to make you a better person. Receive that beautiful thing. I'm receiving the blessing. So when you receive the blessing, it's like yin and yang. You can give more. Mm-hmm. Now I'm in a healthy place. I can receive all the compliment. I can receive all the love. If you were telling me before, hey, Eliyahu, thank you for that speech. That was a great lecture. Yeah, but I was missing that line. Why? Because I couldn't receive. Tell you a funny story. I was giving one of my first lecture in New York was about astrology. And I was giving that lecture, it was about Taurus. Every week we're giving different subjects. So the second week, the teacher was supposed to give it sick. So they called me and said, do me a favor, replace the teacher. I'm going to New York. It's on, I think, 49 and Lex. I'm giving a nice lecture. It's about Taurus. So I said, well, Taurus can be lazy. Taurus can be that. And there's a lady in front of me, starts crying. Every word I'm saying, she's crying loud. So I said, okay. I said, let's change this up. Say, everybody raise their hand if the sign is Taurus. Nobody raised their hand, only her. And she cried. She cried. I said, okay, let's talk only good about Taurus. Well, Taurus can be loyal. Taurus are strong. They can be great business people. They like the details. And she kept crying. And the whole lecture I'm giving to her, and I'm drained. In the end of the lecture, I said, can I talk to you for a second? I would like to apologize. I mean, I couldn't do better. I tried. I couldn't do better. And I know you're Taurus, and I know what I say in the beginning. He said, what are you talking about? I says, so why are you crying? He said, my boyfriend just texted me that we're no longer together. So I gave the whole lecture for her, and I was not even aware, you know?
Because you thought it was about you.
Yeah, exactly. The ego came in.
The ego came in, yes.
Exactly. So receiving love is, for some people, more difficult than giving love. Because giving love, you not feel responsible for that. You just give it and go away. But when you receive it, it is within you.
It's really interesting that you say that, because I think that in my short lifetime, I have met more people with issues that have a problem to receive love than giving. I think giving is pretty easy for most of us, but receiving is a really difficult thing.
You can fake receiving.
You can't fake it, yeah. So let me ask you about one of the things that you always say to me, and I love this, and it's been like a slogan for me, and it says, love is the answer, no matter what the question.
Yeah, it's in my book, yeah.
What does that mean?
When you don't know what to do. A lot of time, not just Libra, Libra usually, or Gemini run into doubts, but other signs in the zodiac run into doubts. So you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do with your children, husband, wife, business, whatever it is. You don't know what to do. What should I do? Think about love. Once you think about love, you think about giving. Once you think about giving, the answer will come from a different dimension. It will no longer come from a dimension of survival. What do I want? What about me? What about my fear? What about my ego? Let's say somebody cannot make a living. What is he thinking about? Where I'm going to get the money? I'm going to pay the rent, electricity bills, the phone, the thing, the food. Now he changed the frequency, switch it, and he starts thinking about, okay, love. How can I love my children, my wife? Everything around me, how can I give in this situation? Now, most people think in receiving because I'm in a miserable situation. I have to think receiving. In the minute that you're in a miserable situation and you think giving, the law of attraction will start make you meet all type of people and situation that is the same frequency like you, and it will fix the situation not by you, by the universe is offer it to you. Because you think love is the answer. When I say love is the answer, I mean sharing is the answer. Love is the answer. How can I love in this situation? People go to fight. You're in the middle of an argument. Stop the argument in your mind for a second and say to yourself, can I love that person I have an argument with? All of a sudden is a different point of view of the whole thing change. You look at that person differently. You say, wow, it's different. It's different.
So if I'm getting anything from this conversation really right now, this meeting, what I'm feeling is that really life is about focusing on the other side, taking all the attention away from ourselves and trying to share. And everything that we want to experience, to be able to experience, we have to give it up first. We have to give it to the person in front of us, or we have to give it to anybody for that matter. And in that moment, we create the opening that we can then receive that which we want.
That's true. Not for everybody. It depends on the person's levels. When I say levels, it doesn't mean bad or good. If your soul is injured by bad childhood or by another lifetime, it will be very difficult for you to focus on the other person. So while you're doing the good thing, you will be running empty. And that will not bring you to a good situation.